Hello, welcome to the second video in the series. I really hope you enjoyed that first discussion, getting you into an energy space in a way that is entirely following your heart and allowing things to just flow as they are, and to trust in the experience. Trust it is exactly, it's immaculate just like it looks, without resistance of it, looking at it square on and saying you are beautiful, even if it's a bloody pulp space and it's a smoldering bomb world, or if it looks like this and it just happens to be asking you to open up your heart, open up your voice to self-expression, and now you're learning more about yourself without resistance. You are loving it and appreciating and accepting it just as it is. So this video here, I want to go into a conversation about how spaces can get a little bit stuck feeling. How it feels like the flow stopped. I can't see anything. It's blurry. It just feels like, I can get the space going, but then it doesn't go anywhere. We're learning all about you, or all about the client. Every single time that you enter into a space, even if the space gets stuck, that means the client also is stuck. If you enter into your own space and it's stuck, well, what are you resisting within yourself? Why are you not letting things flow? Is this you learning about just trusting in the higher wisdom, trusting in the flow of your heart? You're spending too much time in your mind trying to decide the way things should be without allowing them to just be as they are. So we can create stuck, but also the space itself can be just simply stuck because it's teaching you about a part of yourself that is stuck. The space could be blurry. Why is it blurry? Well, I see blurry stuff all the time. I see stuff in extremely vivid clarity. I see stuff that looks like a cartoon. That's totally normal. I see a lot of cartoon images. I see a lot of blurry stuff, and I want it to be clear. I even walk into spaces that are completely dark, and I can't see a single thing. If the space is totally dark, you love it and accept it for exactly as it is. I can't see a darn thing in here, but I'm going to let it be exactly as it is, okay? So we're gonna practice this one. I'm gonna teach you what to do when this type of situation happens, okay? So you're in a space, it just turns completely dark. You are safe to walk into a completely dark space. You can't see your hands, you can't see what is in front of you. You start to notice that this space actually is quite large, but there is what is like the feeling of a doorway at the end of this space. Oh wow, you know that there's a door and that it's a really large space, but you can't see anything? That's because you're using your heart. Your heart is seeing the space. So your heart can see through the thickest darkness. Your heart can see through anything. There is nothing your heart cannot see into. And you follow your heart, okay? So the space is so dark, you can't see anything. So you just have like little feelers. You can imagine, experience little feeler hands coming out of your heart, like little squid arms, like millions of them. And you're feeling around. Where's the ceiling? Where's the floor? Oh my gosh, I'm starting to notice I'm actually on a bridge across two canyons or something. And I'm walking towards that. Now there's a door over here. I'm starting to experience getting closer to this door. I'm starting to notice it's a dark night sky. The space is starting to open up. I'm seeing more of the door, which is entirely black. I'm going to touch the handle now. The handle is hot. The handle hurts. I don't want to touch the handle. It's bothering me. That's because the handle is an attachment. Anything that you touch that burns your hand or gets stuck to your hand or starts to irritate your hand, that is a reflection for me in my own world that there's an attachment to this, and we got to let that attachment go. So something about this space, this door, what is on the other side of this door, there's something vulnerable about that. These are little clues that you're going to learn and discover, and they're going to show up uniquely different for you. So you might touch the handle and you feel something weird in your heart, like your heart's just like, something's bothering me about this. So for me, for instance, Abby, when I feel an attachment, it really bothers my hand really badly. But if somebody else feels attachment, it might actually just feel like a heart thing, or it could show up in any way, shape, or form as your little indicator that there's an attachment involved here. So we'll go ahead and I'm just gonna keep working on the doorknob. I know that if I touch it, it's going to burn me, so I accept it for what it is. It's telling me and teaching me about it itself, and I'm very grateful for that. They're not going to say, oh, doorknob, I am going to teach you a lesson. You hurt me. No, it's like, thank you, doorknob, for telling me that you hurt inside. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity now to help you feel healed. And then we'll explore what this is all about. So you can just stand there and be patient. The space is dark, the space is stuck, it is not moving. We can go into what is, let's just say, the scene becomes what is like a desert, a dry desert. You're walking through the scene and it just feels like nothing is happening. There's no birds, there's no plants, it's just nothing. You're walking through the space, you start to turn in every direction, you're noticing nothing is happening. You don't know what else to do, okay? One clue is simply just sit down. The space is perfect as it is, okay? So you could even talk out loud to yourself and say, man, this space, nothing is happening. Like nothing is happening. Oh, things are happening. Things are seriously happening. As a human being, we have expectations of what is something that is happening. Is a person, is it revealing itself? There's breeze blowing, there's grasses, there's all clarity, and it's super bright and vivid. There's living colors, there's movement, there's all this stuff going on. That's something happening, but something actually is happening in a space where it appears as though nothing is happening. The fact that you made the choice to go into a space such as this is beautiful and immaculate on your part. And now you're in here, and I encourage you simply to sit down with your energy body and sit down and tell this space, I love you exactly as you are. Touch the ground. Here you could say Reiki again. Chokure, Seiheki, Daiko Mio, Hon Sha Ze Sho Nen. Tamara Sha. You can just keep saying it. You can find yourself drawing a circle around where you're sitting and filling it with like a blue flame. And now you're starting to notice that the floor is starting to quiver and it's starting to get like softer, and it's now starting to kind of fall away. You're now sort of in an empty space that is totally open, and there's just this long like thing. You're just sitting on this long thing and it just goes down a long ways, and you wonder, where am I? And now the scene is starting to open up to a dark sky, and there's lightning, and it's just you. And you feel dark clouds are coming in, and why is this happening? Well, wait a second. You just got the space to move. You just manifested movement and change and transformation and expression of self. Just by simply adding an ingredient, okay? Adding an ingredient is what I define. I'm in a space and I just can't get to the bottom of it. I just can't get any more information out of it. I've traversed it. I'm asking it questions. I'm trying everything and I cannot get the space to speak to me. So we have to do stuff. We have to add ingredients to learn more about the space. I could paint the space red and then see how the space reacts to that. So the space can change. I'm going to transform the space into a living room of a house. So I'm going to add a couch here. I'm going to put a TV and a lamp and some plants, and I'm going to create walls with a painting, and now see what the space does to react to that. The space may dissolve everything that you try to create. It's trying to sabotage the healing, so to speak. Be like, no, you're not going to sabotage my healing space. I'm going to keep trying to find things that you welcome into yourself. I'm going to imagine this space being a sponge that's dried up, and it just simply needs to rain here. So I'm going to add the ingredient of creating rain clouds and a rainbow with a little bit of sun, and I'm going to allow this rain to just gently rain down. I'm going to add the ingredient of bringing in my favorite archangel, Archangel Metatron. I welcome you into this space. Now, sometimes Archangel Metatron may not just, man, there's suddenly an angel in here. That never happens with me. I rarely ever see like a helper being come into a space. Sometimes it happens. And I would say Archangel Michael is the one that I often see, but that rarely happens. Well, anyway, you could call for like Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. You could call for Jesus even to come into this dried up, stuck space to help you with it, and just be patient. You could even visualize that, what the angel looks like standing there with you. You're adding the ingredient, and then see how the space reacts, to see how the angel image reacts. See how you feel about it, but allow things to flow from your heart, This is not a mind-centered process here. This is a heart-centered process. Your mind has nothing to do with journey healing. Your mind has nothing to do with it. It's simply the tool that allows the images in. That's it. That's totally it. Because this is a daydream world, it's a creative space, we just allow it to present itself to us, which is going to be experienced what is like in the third eye. But everything is really through the heart, is all filtered through the heart. And it all comes from your soul. All of it. Higher self, infinite universe, collective consciousness, it's all inside here, inside your heart, okay? You just let things flow. You can also alter the frequency, okay? You're feeling like, you know, this space needs to do something. I'm getting frustrated with this space. I'm going to alter the frequency pattern. Do you know what that means? Imagine yourself, you have got like 10 things you have to get done today, and you're leaving to go out of town, you know, at 7 o'clock tonight. And you've got to get all this stuff prepared, and you don't have enough time in the day, and you're freaking out. That's like a pop in frequency, okay? So now we're going to do a practice here. You're having a day like this where it's like, God, I got to get this shit done. And you're cussing and you're like, oh my God, you know, you're really like that. And now we're going to just say, no, I'm going to slow the frequency way down. This is a practice here. No, just experience what it's like to be crazy, insanely in a hurry, okay? And now feel it like an actress or an actor. Feel, oh my God, insanely crazy. Oh my God, I'm super busy. Okay, I'm feeling that. I'm learning right now about frequency patterns. And so I'm gonna slow the frequency way down. I'm slowing down I'm in a rushed state, slowing it down. Slowing it way down. Slowing it down. We're letting it go, okay? Slowing it way down. There is nothing you actually have to do today. You can actually rejoice and enjoy this day. And at 7 o'clock, when it's time to go, then go. But there is actually nothing you have to do today. And we're going to slow the frequency down even beneath the surface of that, okay? Slowing the frequency way down. Way down. Beneath the surface of that, okay? Beneath the surface of that is, I am just as I am. There is nothing else, only I am. Letting go of even the body, the thoughts, expectations, needs, wants. Letting it go. Letting go of sexual desires. Letting go of failures. Letting it go. Slowing the frequency down. You can do this in the energy space. We're in a stuck space, okay? There's no movement. You've allowed your heart to traverse it. You've done everything right. You're slowing everything way down, okay? Once you slow this frequency so far down that the space can be exactly as it is, you start to discover yourself going beneath the frequency of the space. That means you're going deeper. So when we start doing energy work, you'll notice that you'll go into a space and you'll experience things, but the longer you're going, traversing in the journey state, your spiritual atmosphere or somebody else's spiritual atmosphere, the more you're traversing it, the more you're going deeper and deeper into the layers of your totality. So here we have a stuck space. It could be, we could define that as still at the surface, but we're gonna slow the frequency way down to get beneath the surface of this stuck space. and to just allow everything to be exactly as it is perfect. But we gotta let our hearts allow things to flow. You're gonna jam stuff up in here if you're that type of person who really gets stuck in your head and really gets attached to thoughts a lot. You gotta learn how to let that stuff go by simply allowing things to just reveal themselves and speaking out loud through what is revealed, and getting carried away with it like you're getting carried away with your favorite movie or your favorite book, and you're experiencing it because you have to feel it to know it's real. If we human beings did not have feelings, what would we actually be? If we just had our mind and that was it, what would we actually be as beings, as creations? We can't translate the thoughts without emotional responses, without daydreaming, without creativity, without our soul, without love, without hate, without fear, without all this emotional gut stuff. That's how we start to understand ourselves so infinitely. And that's why being human is so special, because our souls have access to so many vulnerable emotions, and the illusion of fear, and the need to survive. And through survival, we latch onto our ego and we get lost along the way from who we truly are. Our most purest, most divine essence, which is our higher self, you see? And when we just let all this stuff go, and we don't have to know any of this junk, we just allow the inner child, the creative senses, the heart, to just manifest it, and we just play with it. We allow it to be as it is, and then we ask it questions. When we slow the frequency down, we can get even into deeper layers of understanding ourselves or understanding another. Make it fun. If you've been doing journeys and it just feels like it's getting stuck, you need to make it fun, because it's going to get boring and you're not going to feel like it. And now the stuck wins, because you're not opening your heart up. You're not being fun and creative with it. If it gets stuck and you just can't get it to move, even with these techniques, say F it. Grab yourself a freaking music box, a boom box from the 80s, some weird dancers from the 80s on the street, and you're gonna play some jukebox music or whatever, and you're gonna let it rumble, and you're gonna freaking dance, because you need to loosen up. You need to stop being stuck. And if you can't dance in the world, then by golly, you should be able to stinking dance in your own spiritual atmosphere. But if you're too good for that, you need to work on this, because there's a reason why things get stuck. You got to get flowing too. You got to get moving. You got to go swim. Create a scene where you can practice swimming. Create a scene where you can practice singing. Create a scene where you can practice painting, and you can paint an entire room with splattering, or taking the time with every detail. Use the energy space for creative stuff that you can work with, for self-expression, but allow it to go, allow it to rip, allow it to come out of you, allow it to be. I want to talk about the different ways that images can appear. So you could have an image that is cartoonish, or it could be super vivid and clear, or it could be foggy and I just can't see, or it could feel like the image is like 10,000 miles away in that direction. I know there's somebody standing over there. It's like they're 10 million miles away, but I can see them, but I really can't see them. I just sense that they're there. Why is there this big gap? I'm going to try and go towards them so that I can see them more clearly. You're trying to go towards them, and then you're asking yourself, why am I going towards you? How come you're not coming down to me? Why are you so far away? And then sometimes you can let this stuff go. Maybe you're just meant to have that little moment and then just get distracted with something new. You don't have to hold on to stuff because you have to know what that is. Sometimes you'll notice that you'll have a moment and it just feels complete within itself. And we don't know why that was. It just needed to be shown, and then we just let that thing go. So it's just like a little pepper in the spiritual atmosphere. We just, there's a little thing, and then we just flick it out, and then it's gone. So it's just another thing that we're letting go of. But the things, I see stuff as cartoons a lot. I see cartoon birds, cartoon animals, cartoon canyons, cartoon oceans, I see cartoons a lot. I see extremely vivid spaces, and I rarely see extremely vivid spaces. They're often cartoony, or they're often without clarity because I'm seeing them from my heart, and I don't actually have to know what it looks like in order to grasp it. So it doesn't have to be completely and utterly clear. I'm at peace with things even being completely black and I can't see anything. I'm completely at peace with that. So I can just walk through an entirely dark space and just feel around and do an entire journey like this and make a huge difference in somebody else's life. I just allow it to be as it is. But remember, creativity, adding ingredients helps. Slowing down the frequency helps. Allowing the space to be as it is. Sitting down and just being at peace with it as it is. Sharing the Reiki energy. That's just another idea. Adding an archangel to the space. Adding a bunch of angels to the space. Adding a rain cloud. Allowing yourself to dance or hear music in the space. These are all things to help spaces kind of get moving and to shift and change. But don't latch onto your head and trying to expect it to do something. Just just step back. Allow your heart to do all of the deciding factors, okay? Allow your heart to create the experience. So that's all I'm going to share for this video. I'm really excited to make another video, but this is more tips to help get these spaces moving. You're doing everything right. Continue to explore. I'm ready to heal another one of my energy bodies. I welcome the universe to reveal the energy body to me as a space. And now I'm going to walk into that space and get to know it, get to know why it feels like my mental body. You could even just say, I want to heal my mental body today. I'm ready to heal my throat chakra. I'm ready to heal my heart portal. And then actually step into the space and then see what it looks like. See how the space manifests itself to you. Take notice that the heart portals also can be intertwined with emotions and then sexual bodies. So some type of sexual injustice took place that really broke your heart and really messed you up emotionally. And now it's you're intertwined with your mind because you can't stop thinking about it and you've not been able to let go of it. So now we're noticing how a single energy body can be intertwined with all the energy bodies. These are just tools to keep you flowing in the rhythm, and you need to practice this. You don't have to. But it helps you to conquer and to expand and to learn and to grow. And when you start doing this work on other people, and you need to get their permission. When you do this work on other people, you learn so much more because you'll start to notice that the spiritual atmospheres of others, they feel different. They might be really like jammed up and hard to walk through. They can feel very dense and make you feel exhausted the entire time. And then you're gonna wonder, is it me? Am I the one that's exhausted? No, it's them. These are all things, when the conscious intention is to heal somebody else, that it isn't you that you're healing, it is somebody else that you're healing. So it's slow, it's exhausting. That is not you, that is actually them. You're in a space that reminds you a lot of yourself. That is not you, that's actually them having a very similar experience as to what your soul has also endured. There's how many people exploring starvation all at the same time? I'm pretty sure they're going to relate to each other. It's not just one person on the entire planet exploring starvation. There's millions of people exploring it. And then people even exploring it in modern age countries where there's plenty of food to eat, but they just feel like they need to be skinnier. So they're exploring starvation and now they're anorexic. So you see there's so much similarities between all of us. Just because you had a really rough childhood doesn't mean somebody else didn't have a really rough childhood. So that's what this is all about. If you're choosing to heal another person, it's not you're healing. You're actually in their spiritual atmosphere. So the more you do this, you'll start to understand that. But I want to tell you that now. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and more videos to come.